Fala aí pessoal, tudo bom? Daqui quem tá falando é o Fischer. E galera, seguinte, mano, vamos continuar nossa jornada aqui. Equitação, trote, a passada básica do cavalo. Não é dar chance do seu cavalo recuperar. Caps Lock. Mais shift, o canter combina uma passada rápida com a resistência do cavalo. W, shift, shift, um galope é o passo mais rápido. Mas aí, aos poucos, esgostar o vigor do seu cavalo, certo? Seu cavalo é mais esperto que algumas pessoas. Vai se manter no trajeto se você der a chance a ele. Apenas comece a correr devagar e não o conduza. Seguindo o caminho. Shift. Beleza. Seguinte, galera. Voltamos aqui com o nosso vídeo. Um pouco antes. Eu queria tentar ajudar ela, mas não vai dar. Se eu tentar ajudar, eu vou morrer. Desmonta no cavalo. Beleza. Vamos lá. Não sei pra onde que eu tenho que ir, mas a gente vai seguir esse A. Acho que aqui eu já tô tranquilo, né? Meu Deus, cara, olha o caos que tá rolando aqui. Tomei uma flechada na perna, mano. Mas já, cara, mal comecei, já tô tomando flechada, meu irmão. Vamos lá. Ah, galera, eu tô começando a fazer live também agora na Twitch, certo? De GTA V RP. Vamos. Então, eu vou deixar o meu link na descrição do vídeo, beleza? E a partir de agora, todos os vídeos que eu tenho vai estar na descrição deles. O link. Meu Deus, que caos que tá rolando aqui. Eu acho que é por aqui que a gente tem que ir, né? Eu espero, tá? Ui, meu Deus. Tá indo pro mesmo caminho, né? Então, beleza. Nem li o que foi falado. Espero que vocês tenham lido. Eu sei que eu tô indo. Você descobriu um ponto de viagem rápida. Você descobriu o santuário. Tô descobrindo tanta coisa ao mesmo tempo, só olhando, sabe, com o meu cavalinho. O cavalo tá se esgotando. Meu cavalo. Meu cavalo tá se esgotando, galera. Os caras tão vindo atrás mil. Vai dar tempo não, galera. Corre por sua vida, meu amigo. Meu Deus! Ai, que aflição. Corre, cara, corre. Corre por sua vida, meu amigo, corre. Sei que você tá cansado, meu filho. Ui! Cara, eu não vou conseguir fugir com esse cavalo que não coiseia. O cara tá bem atrás meu, tá ligado? Tipo... Conseguimos. Nossa, que aflição que me deu. O cara colado em mim. Cara, eles falam em outra língua, de vez em tradução, né? Consegui fugir. Ufa. Estão fechando o portão, tinha gente lá fora. Ligação, essas horas. Ai. Ai. Cara, que dor, hein?
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages.
Vinho quente e ataduras.
Tell me, boy, who are you and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tártaros.
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
Será que ele vai puxar? Ih, ele vai
Watch your
mesmo.
teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out.
Ui. Ih, até desmaiou, meu amigo. Até desmaiei.
Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone.
Flecha errou o osso.
It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
É como se fosse novo. Cusão.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Cara, gente boa, mano. O importante é que nós estamos vivos, mano. É um cachorrinho.
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund. He
Sigismund.
said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army.
They're the less da Hungria.
Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Eles são muito gente boa, eu gostei deles. Ah, tem 2 cachorros. Aí. Objetivo, passeio por Talmberg. Eu passei por Talmberg. Fale com Sir Robard. Ponto de viagem rápida. Você descobriu sua cama. Thanks, man. Agora tem uma cama. Você descobriu o padeiro. Certo. Agora eu tô andando, né? Eu tava mancando, agora eu já tô andando. Beleza. O que é isso aqui? Eu devia estar mancando, né? Seria legal. Que isso, paia?
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach. I
Cara,
heard
ele é
about your
gente
father.
boa, hein?
They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes.
Eles dizem.
I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm sure he had his reasons.
Chief,
It's a great loss. Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
Cara safado já olhou pra
So
ela.
this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bojana here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master? Here you are.
Ele parece tipo a mãe e o pai dele morreu e ele tá tipo de boa, pensando em
And a
comida,
little
tá
wine to
ligado?
wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the court.
Ó, a mulher meteu moral, hein?
Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Tá, eu aprendi a cozinha. Objetivo iniciado, comer. Vai para o pátio e durma até de manhã. Certo. Eu já comi? Uma cadeira aqui, não tinha? Vamos pôr de lentilha.
Hey, look out!
Ó, um rolo de pão. Vou comer também. Pegar um queijo pra mim comer também, gente. Bom. Muito obrigado. Eu gosto de queijo. Eu gosto de rolo de pão. Eu adoro pata assado, gente. Muito bom, sabia? Bom, vocês não ligam de eu comer, né? Mas vocês não ligam não, né? Tem vinho também, vou tomar um pouquinho. Tá bom? Muito obrigado. Tem que... Cebola, tem hidromel. Tem uma tocha. Ah não, se eu apertar vai roubar. Não quero não. Valeu. Obrigado.
Lord Almighty!
Não, onde que eu saio daqui, gente? Eu vou só comer alguma coisa porque eu tô com muita fome. Meu dinheiro tá comigo, mano. Uma maçã. Nossa, a maçã vai demorar muito, mano. Comer um pato. Comer um purê de lentilha. Comer um queijo. Comer um rolinho de pão. Eu como o resto de maçã, né? Daí eu já fico com 100 de alimentação. Fico bem alimentado. Aí, ó. Quem disse que eu não sei comer, hein? Ah, tô forte. Oi, gente. Bom. Estão comendo também, né? Muito forgado. Ah, ele tá mancando, sim. Opa, deu uma pequena leguinha. Onde que eu tenho que ir? O que é isso aqui? É, cara.
Hey,
Ai. Ih, Não. Olha, ele tá mancando, mano. Muito ruim isso. É muito ruim isso. É aqui mesmo, ó. Cansaço. Dormir é a solução. Encontre uma cama disponível que você conhecerá aqui na bússola. Sua cama, sente nela. Quanto tempo você quer dormir? Tá bom. Ai. Dormir, né? Hora, conforto 80. Dormir por 10 horas, né? Vamos acordar às 6 horas da manhã. Aí deixaram eu dormir mesmo, hein? Só gente boa. Não deixaram, não.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry.
Ah,
Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy.
ligeira.
My lady. No, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
Desculpa, galera, se tiver um ruído de fundo, tá bom?
Could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
Que mulher ligeira, mano.
Thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to. But to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace.
Que ligeira.
To let you know you're
Galera,
not
é aí que nós vamos virar Lorde, hein? Se ela for filha do senhor daqui.
Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you,
Ih,
but
tesourou
I
ela.
want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater.
A mulher tá com segundas intenções de nós,
Will
mano.
ease in time. And it can help
Não vá
to
ferrar
talk
nós, hein,
about it,
Harry.
if you feel like it.
Conta a história do ataque pra
You
ela.
might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. A fellow by the name of Kunesh owed money to father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunesh had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunesh still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
Sucesso.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig
Eu não sei o
himself
que eu
came to
fiz.
have a look at it. He praised Father's
Eu devia
work
ter
and
falado,
said
acho
that
que
with
de
his
baixo.
smithing skills, he could easily
Mostrar o
make
quanto
a
era
living in
forte.
Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
Teve fumaça no horizonte, havia um emissário de atacantes comandando o exército.
Sigismund's cavalry was composed of Cumans, They're diabolical barbarians from the east with no
Ele
regard
não
for the rules
sabia,
of
né?
warfare.
Agora ele sabe quem que são.
Bloodthirsty cutthroats. The very fact Sigismund has them with him shows what a tyrant he is.
Well, I don't know.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
Eu ramelei, hein? Eu falei
Father
matou meu
told me
pai.
to take shelter in the castle while he went to get mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And I
Açougueiros.
saw him knocking down one human after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw father and charged at him. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover,
Eu vi
but I
que
didn't make
assim
it.
vai dar sucesso.
I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
Eu precisava de um cavalo. O cerco de Skalitz começou.
I needed a horse to get to the safety of Talmberg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of cumin
Eu
savages
queria ter
who planned
ajudado
to
ela,
violate
cara.
her.
Em off eu até tentei. Pra mim ver se tava gravando tudo certinho, mas não. Não deu certo. Eu não vou mentir.
God
Yeah.
knows I wanted to, but even though I had the sword we made for Saradzik, they had me outnumbered and they were well armed too. I only just managed to grab one of their horses and ride off. I couldn't help her any more than I could have helped my parents.
It wasn't your fault.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Aprendi mulheres alguma coisa.
How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose
Ela é filha do cara, hein?
whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me
Ah,
and my
não.
husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg,
Nossa.
the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We
Coitada.
tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
O mais
7
legal é que
years.
isso realmente aconteceu.
That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Ligeiro.
Would that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Ele não tirou as botas. Mulher na Idade Média. Mulher na Idade Média, tive uma ideia. Eu acho que esses conhecimentos que ele tira, acho que vai explicar um pouco sobre a Idade Média na hora do inventário lá. A gente tá com trauma. Nossa. O pai dele não falou aquilo.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Vamos lá. Tô vendo um negócio aqui. Pessoal. Eu acho que a gente vai ter chance com a mulher lá, hein? Galera, eu vou dar uma caminhada aqui. Certo? Parece que a dor na perna dele tá parando. E não deveria, né? Ah, não, ele tá mancando ainda. Galera, esse vídeo tá ficando um pouco grande. Esse vídeo vai ficando por aqui. Se preparem para o próximo episódio, onde a gente vai continuar a nossa jornada. Estamos com meia hora de vídeo, vou terminar aqui para vocês assistirem essa meia hora e ficarem com gosto de quero mais. Galera, se preparem porque teremos coisas muito emocionantes nessa série. Lembrando que teremos também as nossas lives na Twitch. Então, pessoal, fiquem com Deus, um abraço, se inscrevam no vídeo, deem o seu like, que isso vai ajudar bastante. Então, pessoal, fiquem com Deus, um abraço e falou!